Carlos Christian. I'm the president and founder of the Starts Within organization. I am also a published author of the book Prison Without Bars, and that book will be available for you after the end of this event. It'll be back here in the back. I appreciate your support. Now, today we are here for the life and celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King, and I'm just appreciative to be a part of this event and for you guys to give me the time to be able to speak, and I appreciate you 100%. And we're gonna build today. We're gonna get live today, okay? Okay?
All right.
Good stuff. So the I Have a Dream speech was over 50 years ago, and it still serves as inspiration. Even though it was that long ago, it still serves as inspiration to people such as myself and other individuals that I know across the nation. It shook up the world, that speech that he delivered in Washington. And right now I'm just inspired by that. And now today in 2016, I have a vision. I have a vision, and I'm going to share with you guys that vision that I have that's been placed on me. And now you will see why I am so excited and why life is so good, because I have a vision. A vision is reality. It's saying that I can see it, I can touch it, my eyes is wide open. It is mine. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm going to share with you that vision so you can be just as excited as I am, and you will be able to say, you know what, hey, it's looking real up today. I have a vision. I have a vision that man will no longer be a liability in the community, that they will be an asset in the community. I have a vision that man will add value to the environment and not suck value from the environment. I have a vision that women will get behind a man who is adding value to the environment and detach herself from the one who is sucking value from the environment. I have a vision that education will be the same across the board, no matter which community that you stay in. I have a vision that it will be no more police brutality, and you will not get gunned down in the streets because of an overreaction based on your own personal biases. I have a vision.
Okay.
Come on now.
I have a vision. 13 years old, I had committed myself to selling drugs in Oberlin, Ohio. I was born and raised, I stay in Columbus now. I committed myself to selling drugs because that's what I thought was the way, and I said that I have an idea of what my success is, and I'm going after it, and I'm about to sell these drugs so I can obtain my idea of success. I just wanted to live like the Cosbys. I wanted to be able to go on vacations. I wanted to not have lack in my household. I wanted my household to be one. I wanted to be whole. So I said that I'm going to commit myself into selling drugs because that's what seemed to be available to me. Education is the keys to the future. My education was, hey, get on the streets, Los, because this is the way that we can get it. I'm looking at guys who's making money hand over fist, and it looks like that they are free. But what they are not telling me is all of the information that I need to have. They're not telling me that what's at the end of all of this money that you are going to have to go in front of. I wish it would have been Burgess, but it wasn't. It was Lynette McGuff. I was committed because I didn't have all of the information, and because I didn't have all of the information that I had to make my decision was people from Wu-Tang Clan, Tupac, Biggie. I had this information, said, hey, 24 with an L, oh well, go ahead and bang out in the streets, go ahead and sell all this dope, and you're gonna make it to the Cayman Islands, you make it to the Bahamas. They didn't tell me that I was going to be separated from my children. They didn't tell me that I was going to be inside of the penitentiary somewhere. They didn't tell me how it was inside of the penitentiary. They didn't tell me that it was living hell. They didn't say that it was right next door to hell. They didn't say that it was right next door to death. They didn't tell me that. They didn't give me a proper description. Because they didn't give me a proper description, I made my decision based on the information that I had. If I can just make it, I'm going to make it, and I'm about to live it up like a boss. This is what it's about. I'm about to call my shots. It's going to be, life is going to be beautiful. 13 years old. I didn't have the proper information, so I made it. My decisions was not informed decisions because I didn't have the proper information. 19 years old, I got hit with 10 years inside of prison for attempted murder, possession of drugs, drug trafficking, possession of firearms, because I was so committed to the streets, and I said, I'm going all the way in. One thing about Carlos Christian is that I'm gonna go all the way in with whatever I do. I'm just a passionate individual. I mean it, and I walk like I live. So I got into it, and I said, man, you know what, hey, this is what it is, man, you know. So when I was inside of prison and I'm doing 10 years and I said, hold up, this is not my idea of success. I need to do something different. I had to start to create a different reality. But one thing that I knew is that change must happen inside of myself. I can't wait for change to happen outside of me for change to happen. So I chose to start doing what I needed to do while I was incarcerated, 19 years old, having to do a 10-year prison sentence. I had a 3-month-old son when I had got incarcerated, and I said that I'm going to be home to be able to raise my son and to be a man. Right now, I don't know who's raising my son, who's pouring information into my son. Is it the same media that poured in information to me? One thing that I knew is that one thing about the media, their responsibility is not to develop an actual individual. Their responsibility is to make a profit. It's business. I want to be the one that's going to be responsible to develop my son, because what I was told that if you ain't got a seat at the table, where are you at? More than likely you on the menu. And I knew that I have never been fooled. I know that I'm an individual that needs to be sitting at the table. So I need to start sitting at the table right now. But the thing that I understood is that, look, I don't have to wait for somebody to sit me at the table, because if I wait for somebody to sit me at the table, I will never sit at the table and I will never eat. So what I said is I'm making the decision to sit at the table. Sitting at the table is saying that you will benefit off of anything that you are involved in. If you benefit off of what I'm in, then I'm a benefit too as well. So when I was in prison, I said, hey, it starts within. It starts within me. I'm going to start making decisions. That means I'm going to start to capitalize on the things that is around me. I'm going to utilize my time. Time is the most valuable asset known to mankind. You can't get it back. Once it's gone, it's gone. What am I doing with my time? I am developing myself to become a whole new individual. I'm no longer going to be an outlaw. I'm going to develop myself to be a civilian, because I didn't like the outlaw mentality. I didn't like the benefits that the outlaw mentality produced, meaning 10 years inside of prison, and I got to go ahead and live out of a 2.4 locker box. I got to wait for a child to be called. I got to get strip searched before I go out onto the visits. I only see my son, who was 3 months old, 4 times a year. If lucky, I might see him 5, meaning that one visit I see him, he's crawling, the next visit he's running. That does not make sense to me. I had to make a decision, and I made a decision. And what I realized is that, hey, we don't have to wait for nobody to fall in alignment for me to be successful. It is on me. And that's what made it so exciting for me, because I started to just be obsessed with improvement. I started to get into everything that I needed to get into. I graduated from business management when I was inside of prison from college, Marion Technical College, with a 3.83 GPA. I then went on to administrative office technology and learned the computers, Microsoft Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and Access. And then I said, I'm going to go ahead and learn some Spanish. Exio mucho, pero traigo mucho a la mesa. That means that I demand a lot, but I bring a lot to the table. I'm going to become a different individual. I'm going to change the mentality. I'm not going to wait for the laws to change. I'm going to change the mentality that continues to get caught up by the laws. So then that means that I'll never sell dope again. That means that I'll never put myself in a position where I can get incarcerated, because I understand that incarceration does not fit me. What fits me is that me being able to raise my son and make sure that he develops and he doesn't become a menu item and he be an individual that sits at the table. What fits me is me being able to watch the Cavs games. What fits me is me being able to watch the Browns games, and I don't have to miss the Browns because I'm sitting in Marion Correctional Institution, and because we in the center of Ohio, they play Cincinnati because Cleveland ain't doing so well. All right. I got DirecTV, I got the Sunday Ticket, I watch them every week. I don't care if they 2-12. That's just what I like to do. And my whole thing about this movement that I am a part of, that I have been blessed with, is that, hey, I'm teaching other guys now how to go out there and obtain it. How do you decrease the recidivism rate? You increase the value in the minds of those who are incarcerated. How do you decrease the recidivism rate? Increase the value in the minds of those who are incarcerated. Increase the value in the minds of the society, the way that they view the incarcerated. Meaning that I am a valuable individual. Why am I a valuable individual? Because my left side is different from my right side. Every fingerprint on my hand is different. My DNA is restricted to just me. It has not been somebody who has been created like me before me. It will be nobody that will be created like me after me. That means that I am a one-on-one. Anything that is a one-on-one has to be valuable. Anything that cannot be duplicated has to be valuable. Brother, nobody has been on this earth like you before you, and will be nobody on this earth like you after you. Your DNA is restricted to strictly you. Anything that is cannot be duplicated is valuable. I can duplicate a Bentley. I can duplicate money. I can duplicate a house. I can duplicate all the materialistic things, but you cannot duplicate an actual individual. The bum sleeping up under the bridge with nothing with no materialistic items is more valuable than all of the money in the world, because that bum has not been duplicated. So what do? It's not that the value is not there. It's saying, how do we live up to that value that is in us? See, what happens is that we tend to live below the value. And that's why you have the individual, such as my 13-year-old mind, selling drugs, because I feel like that that's all that I can do. Why do I feel like that? Because I have been told that. We come into this world as blank boards, meaning that what we get poured into us is so how we will be. So then that means that I believe that the only thing that I have for me is selling dope. Only thing that I have for me is robbing. Only thing that I have for me is all of this underhanded stuff that is going to place me in a courtroom, and then I'm going to have to be put inside of a penitentiary somewhere, and then it doesn't fit my idea of success. Why? Because information influences thinking. Thinking controls behavior. What type of information do I need to start to change my thinking? Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except for as punishment for a crime where the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist in the United States or any other place subject to its jurisdiction. That's the 13th Amendment. That's when they abolished slavery. The only way that you can be a slave in the United States of America is if you get convicted of a crime and it serves as punishment. That's why when you go inside of the prison, you can work for 22 cents an hour. That's why the major companies is targeting the institutions now. Target, Hewlett-Packard, they target the penitentiaries because they don't have to go to Mexico. They don't have to go to third world countries no more. Why? Because the United States of America has 2.2 million people that is currently incarcerated. They don't have to go get free labor from across the seas no more. They can make a profit off of the individuals who are currently incarcerated. But the thing about that is you have to make a choice to be incarcerated. You have to make a choice to be a slave nowadays. How do we change it? And this is where my vision comes into place at. This is why I'm so excited. My son, I came home, I was able to get custody of my son. His mother said, go ahead and raise him to be a man. I trust you with the development of our son. Raise him to be a man. So then that means when I came home at 10, I did 10 years, 19 to 29 years old. I got my son, custody of my son. I'm raising my son. He is 18 years old now. My son is going to Columbus State Community College. My son is emulating the man that I am today. He's not emulating the man who was making the poor decisions. He's emulating the man who's making the good decisions, the good brother. This is how we decrease the recidivism rate. This is how we decrease mass incarceration. You place the fathers back into the households, and then those fathers start to raise their children in the right direction. Meaning that, no, you're not going to raise my son, Young Jeezy. No, you're not going to raise my son, Ricky Rose. You done went and got a job, but you sitting up there talking about like you still selling dope. Why don't you tell the people that you done got a job, because you're not about to sacrifice your time inside of a penitentiary cell somewhere. I'm raising my son, and because I'm raising my son, he is turning out to be the individual that I desire him to be, because I got the best intentions for him. That's my son. And this is why it's a movement, and I'm just happy to be the leader of this movement, and just happy for the vision to be placed on me to be able to do what we are doing. It starts with an organization, created the organization back in 2011. 2011, created the organization. What we do is we go inside of the institutions, inside of the penitentiaries, inside of the state of Ohio, and we make sure that these guys get the education that they need to get. You think I'm playing?
No. Right.
Starts with an organization. What you see right here is the logo, right? This is the left-hand side. This is the liability in the community that I was talking about, right? He has the number on his chest, 355-519. He has the prison bars in the background. Life isn't too well. He's not able to see the Browns games some weeks because they're not doing so well, so he is kind of upset. The thing about this, thank you, good brother, don't let me sweat out my collar. You see the guy on the right-hand side, he's an asset to the community. What he has in the back of him is his family. He has a clean cut and he has a suit on. He's more content because he's able to see the Browns games, the Cavs games. He's able to go to the Bahamas on cruises and things like that and spend family time. Life is good because it's the way that he desired it to be. Everybody might not like the Cavs, everybody not like the Browns, but he does. And he gets to experience life as he likes to experience it. This is the logo. That's the image that I'm pushing across the nation. We are able to go into any penitentiary inside of the state of Ohio because I stay in Columbus and I've been able to establish a relationship with central office. That means that the directors and things like that, the people who run the state and run the penitentiaries, they're right there. I got their cell phone numbers and I be calling them on their cell phone like, hey, the book is going to be coming into such and such penitentiary. I need to send this book because somebody's loved one said that they want the book Prison Without Bars. I know that I'm not an approved vendor, but hey, we good people, so let me go ahead and send the book into such and such. We cover 5 different modules. We have 20 people. We do a class of 20 individuals. 5 modules. Parenting for 8 weeks, cognitive behavior therapy for 8 weeks, that's thinking, decision making. Financial literacy for 8 weeks. Employment readiness for 16 weeks, and small business and entrepreneurship for 12 weeks. The people that we got coming in teaching the curriculum is professors. We have a professor from Marion Technical College teaching the small business and entrepreneurship for 12 weeks. They will have their business plans at the end of the 52-week class. We have a professor from Oberlin College coming in teaching the employment readiness for 16 weeks. We have a professor from Columbus State Community College teaching the financial literacy for 8 weeks. We have a trained facilitator and a Thinking for a Change curriculum to teach that, and I teach the parenting. And I come in throughout the whole entire year. So the facilitators change, but I stay there because a lot of times what I understood is that people cannot be what they can't see. So when they see me and I come in there and I say, brother, I was committed to the streets, but now look at me, I've been out for 9 years now. Look at what I've been able to do. And the only reason why I'm here right now is because at 1997, I made a decision to be here. I made a decision to be here because I started to utilize my time while I was incarcerated. I didn't just play dominoes and cards and expect that at the end of my prison sentence I was going to be able to be successful. I put in my time. I utilized my time. And because I utilized my time, I am eating the fruit from me utilizing my time when I was incarcerated. See, what we have to do is say we got to start to be obsessed with improvement and become a better individual right now. It doesn't start tomorrow. It starts right now. It starts right now. That's the only way that change will happen. And guess who has to come into alignment for change to happen? Us, individuals.
Right. That's right.
I am my greatest resource. Tap into the resource within yourself. Don't expect for everybody else to be your resource. You are your greatest resource. So why do I have the vision that I have? And why is it going to be different? Why? Because good people is going to start to take the positions of the offices. Burgess, good brother. It don't matter if you black and white. I just care if you a good brother or not. Those good brothers is coming from the penitentiary, and they are going to raise their children to be good brothers. So then their children will grow up and say, no, I don't have to just be a basketball player I'm going to close in 1 hot second. I don't have to be a basketball player or a football player. I'm going to take the position of office. I'm going to go ahead and get nominated to be a judge. I'm going to get nominated to be a lawyer, a doctor. I'm going to be a police officer. That's how we change it. Right. Everybody in here right now is black and white, is diverse. Now, if your children be a police officer, if your children be a judge, a prosecutor, if your children be any of those, then I'm good with that. It's not about black and white. It's just about good or bad. Right. That's right. So if you raise your children to respect all and fear none, then that's what it's going to be. And that's how we change the game. Starts within organization. Before change can be seen externally, change must be done internally. My book is back there. The book is needed for 3 populations. Those who are at risk to get incarcerated, those who are currently incarcerated, and those who deal with the population. Because you cannot help the incarcerated if you do not understand the mentality of the incarcerated. My mentality is in the book. You can't give me a solution if you don't understand my problem. Right. I appreciate y'all.